A very good morning to all the students of class 5. My name is Prerna and I'm your English teacher. And today, from your English book Skyline, we are going to read chapter number 4. All right, and this chapter is adapted from one of the novels written by Daniel Defoe, and the name of the novel is Robinson Crusoe. So, who exactly was Robinson Crusoe? Let us understand this first. So, Robinson Crusoe was a person who stayed in England, and he wanted to move away from his family, his friends, everyone. So he decided to set a journey into the sea. Now, when he set his journey into the sea, his ship got wrecked. That is, his ship was completely destroyed, and he actually went to an island which seemed to him that no one was staying in on that particular island. So this particular chapter is adapted from the novel. So let us start reading that what happened to Robinson Crusoe. One of the incidents is described in this chapter, that what happened to Robinson Crusoe when he was on this island. So let us start reading this chapter. So this is chapter number 4 of your book, and the name of the chapter is Robinson Crusoe Finds a Footprint. So what is happening in this chapter, that Robinson Crusoe is going to find a footprint on an island which he feels that there is no one on this island. So whose footprint are these exactly? So let us start reading this chapter. And as I told you that this novel is written by Daniel Defoe. So here we go. One day when I was going towards my boat, I was surprised to see the footprint of a man on the sand. I stood amazed. I listened. I looked around me. I could neither hear nor see anything. I went up higher to look down. I went up to the shore and down the shore, but it was no good. I could find no other footprint but that one. I went to it again to see if there were any more footprints and to tell me if it had been my imagination. But I was not mistaken, for there was exactly the print of a foot, toes, heels, every part of a foot. I could not imagine how it came there. So Robinson Crusoe, in the first paragraph, he's saying that I had gone to see my boat, and while I had gone to see my boat, while I'd gone towards my boat, I saw that there were a number of footprints. So he looked at the shore, he looked at various places, and he saw that the footprints were a lot in number, and he came to know that he'd not mistaken. It was not his imagination that there are footprints on the shore, because there were a lot of footprints at a number of places on the shore. And he's saying that there were print of a foot, toes, heel, every part of the foot was there. All right, so let us see what happened next. Now Robinson Crusoe saw a number of footprints, and he's wondering that whose footprints are these. I stayed a long time thinking, but became more and more confused. At last I returned home very frightened, looking behind me after every 2 or 3 steps, mistaking every bush and tree to be a man. So now, because Robinson Crusoe thought that apart from him there was someone else, someone else be also on the island, he became a little frightened, he became a little scared. And so the moment he started moving towards his cave, he would turn around every time to see if someone was following him. When I came to my cave, which I call my castle, so you can see this is the cave of Robinson Crusoe, and he used to call it as a castle. When I came to my cave, which I called my castle, I ran inside it as if I was being chased. Chased means followed. I do not remember whether I used the ladder or went in by the hole in the rock, which I called the door. I ran for cover faster than any animal could run. Ran for cover means to protect myself. So Robinson Crusoe, the moment he saw his cave, while coming back from the sea, he immediately ran as fast as possible because he wanted to protect himself from any external attack. I did not sleep that night. The more I thought about what I had seen, the more afraid I became. I thought it could be one of the savages of the mainland who had wandered out to the sea in a small boat. So, savage refers to the wild human beings. So Robinson Crusoe thought that actually some savage people meaning wild people in primitive state. So he thought that maybe it's some group of wild people who were living in the mainland. Mainland refers to a land which is extended to a great area. So he thought that one of or maybe a group of those people they were wandering here and there, they were roaming here and there, and they had now come to this island. Luckily, I was not on shore at that time. But what if he had seen my boat? So now, when Robinson Crusoe is wondering that it could be one of the savage who have come, what if that person has seen my boat? So that person might kill me. If he had seen the boat, he would have realized that someone lived on the island and would soon return with others to kill and eat me. And so I lay fearful for many days and prayed for protection. In doing so, I was much comforted and began going out to investigate. But even now, as I went forward, I looked behind me frequently because I was still very frightened. So Robinson Crusoe says that I was still very frightened, I was still very scared, but I had to find out that whose footprints were these. And when the moment Robinson Crusoe would go on the shore to see if there was any other person, he would keep on looking behind. More often, he would keep on looking behind. However, as I went about for 2 or 3 days and saw nothing, I became a little bolder. So now Robinson Crusoe, day after day, he was going to the shore to see if there's someone else on the island, and because he could not find anyone, he became more confident that maybe it is just my imagination, or maybe there is no one else on the island. I decided to go down to the shore again and examine the footprints once more. So Robinson Crusoe thought that let me go back to the shore once again and have a look at those footprints once again. Let me have a clear look at those footprints. I decided to measure it with my own foot mark. As I came closer to the footprint, I realized that it could not be my footprint because I had not come to this part of the beach since a long time. Secondly, as I placed my foot alongside that footprint, it seemed larger than my own. My fear returned. I went home again, believing that there was someone there. The island was inhabited. Inhabited means occupied. So, occupied in the sense that someone was living there. So, Robinson Crusoe. So, initially, when he saw the footprints, he was very scared. But after 2-3 days, he became a little confident. But later on, when he decided to measure the footprint using his own feet, he saw that the footprint was much larger than his own feet, and he became a little scared. So you can use your own imagination to know what could have happened next. And to get the answer to this question, what is it that you can do? Just like the poem that you have read, you can read this novel of Robinson Crusoe to understand that what exactly happened with Robinson Crusoe. So I hope all of you enjoyed reading this chapter. Thank you so much.